Hello, and welcome to Introspective Lifeworks, where today we are going to talk about Moldavite and my experience with Moldavite. If you're interested in a highly energetic transformational stone or tetrite, it's a tetrite, you can find lots of information on Google about it. When I first decided that my intuition was leading me towards using crystals for healing, Moldavite was my first pick. A very bold pick indeed, but I just followed my intuition, and I think I watched a few videos on YouTube about it. I Googled it because I like to really get into and know what I'm dealing with. A little history: Moldavite is a tetrite, only found in the Czech Republic, and it is said that it was a meteorite that hit the Earth 12.5 million years ago. So it's a glassy type of tetrite, and it has the Earth energies as well as the extraterrestrial energy, the cosmos energy. And perhaps this is why I gravitated towards it as being my first purchase to my transformation. And it opened the door for a lot of amazing things for me. So let's go back in time, because I've had Moldavite now since June of 2018. I had spent that whole year, my date of remission time mark, I guess you could say, for the cancer is in May. So in 2018 May, I was really happy that I had accomplished the first year, being a survivor of triple negative breast cancer. The first 2 years are very, very important. They make you see your cancer doctor for, well, every 3 months, and then it by the end of the year and a half, it was every 6 months, and now it's every 6 months, I think, until 5 years. 5 years is the cutoff point. If everything is still according to what it was in 2017 when I researched it, after 5 years, you are pretty much cured of triple negative, which can spread anywhere in your body, and which is why I went on this big crusade to heal myself and learn so much along the journey. Well, the Moldavite was the very first crystal I purchased. I ordered it off of Amazon, which I'm not affiliated with, or I have no advertisement with, but I went on Amazon and I went to a company called Starborn, and I looked at the reviews and I felt really comfortable, and I got a little tiny piece of Moldavite. I think I paid like $20 or under that for this little Moldavite, and I can remember I was at work one day and I just instantly knew when I got home that Moldavite was going to be in my mailbox. And I got really excited, and when I got home, sure enough, there it was, and I opened the package, and they packaged it where it was very carefully packaged. It was in a little square like frame, and it had thick like saran wrap kind of plastic on each side, so it wasn't touching anything, and it was just free. And then it came with a little certificate that it was authentic. And I excitedly opened it and took it out and put it in my left hand, and I could instantly feel that energy just pulsating from the stone, and it was very exciting because I've never felt nothing like that before. And I kept it by me that night, off and on. I had read that you're supposed to just kind of like integrate your energy with it slowly because it can be very overwhelming. But the next day I was like, I'm taking it to work with me. I put it in my pocket and off to work I went, and I had an amazing day, and I was really excited. And the only thing that I noticed different physically in my body was my hands and my feet began to vibrate and buzz, which I'd never experienced before, and thought, okay, this is weird. Hope it's not nothing to do with cancer. But I felt like assured that it was normal and I shouldn't be concerned. And about this time, I was the manager of the apartment building that I was living in, and this young man came to me, and I showed him a one-bedroom apartment. And he was a very, very nice man, and I felt like the Moldavite helped me be. I'm kind of an introvert and can be shy at times, but I'm also an extrovert. It just it's really hard to explain, but sometimes I get very shy, and that's probably why it's taken me so long to get moving with my YouTube channel. I'm very careful too. I do not want to put things out that could influence people in the wrong way. I have a really strong understanding that, you know, to be careful, just cautious what you put out there, because some people, they're not at the same level as everyone else, and I would never do any harm to anyone. Let's just put that as the bottom line. Okay, so moving on to my story with Moldavite. This man, he ended up renting this apartment. It was right next door to me, and he is very nice, and you know, he was a very nice man. I had no problems with him. And then a month goes by after he rented the apartment, and I'm coming home from work one day, and you know, when you're driving and you're just kind of in the same routine, and you actually go into like a deep state, probably close to hypnosis, and become very relaxed. And I guess it was at that time that my higher self or spirit or whoever, I don't know, connected with me and said, what would you do if somebody died in the apartments? And I just thought, wow, that would be so crazy, because I'm the manager. I would have to deal with that. And I do enjoy everybody who lives in the apartments, and I wouldn't want to see anything bad happen to anybody that lives in the apartments. Well, then my mind, my ego stepped in, and there was a young gentleman in the apartments that his friend had just passed away from suicide. And it, being that I have a master's in marriage and family therapy, I know there is like statistics that say that men in certain age groups, they can be very highly susceptible to suicide. So I thought, oh, is it this man? And all of a sudden, in my mind's eye, I got the picture of a white bed, pure white bed, because I was a manager and I have gone in with the owners to do inspections and things. I knew that the man that I had thought it was, he had a blue cover on his bed. So I'm like, okay, I don't know what this is about, spirit, but, or higher self, but okay. When I got home, I completely forgot about everything and just went about my daily business. And then 4 days passed. It was July 5th. It was the day after the 4th of July. It was 9:30 at night, and I got a knock on the door, and I opened up my door, and it was the police. And they said, "Are you the manager?" And I'm like, "Yes, I am. And can I help you? What is the problem?" And they said, "We need to get into the apartment next door to you." And I said, "Oh, really?" And I said the man's name, and they're like, "Yes." And I asked, "Well, can I ask why you need to get in? Is there a problem?" And they said, "Well, we looked through the window and we believe the man is deceased. His relatives have not been able to get a hold of him for 4 days." So I got the key and I opened the door, and there I looked, and in the room ahead was a white bed with his blue-gray feet. And the one officer went in and said, you know, "Everybody else stay out." And he secured the scene, and the other officer and I talked, and I said, yeah, I had noticed his pickup hadn't moved, and I really didn't think that there was a problem. I had seen that his TV was on, and I thought everything was okay, just that he was off for the holiday. And then the officer said, well, if we need anything else, we'll come and knock on your door and talk to you. When I went back to my apartment, I shut my door and I was just standing in the hallway, kind of taking in everything that had just happened, and my whole body began to vibrate from head to toe. And I had no idea what was going on with me. So I called up one of my mentors and asked her, and she said that I was releasing all this energy because I knew this was all going to happen, and I was completely calm. And usually these kinds of things really get to me, but I was really calm and I dealt with everything, and it was because I already knew. My higher self already knew this was all going to happen. And so that was just a month after I got the Moldavite. What an experience. Well, it also, Moldavite will open your eyes up to things you never thought about before that are probably not so good of things. The people I was working for, I immediately noticed that they were very greedy. I'll just put it right out there. They were very greedy people. I kind of felt like that, but after this experience, I knew it, and I knew that there wasn't much more that I could do to keep working for these people. But okay, so this was on a Thursday, I believe, that they took his body out and did an autopsy and everything to find out what he had passed away from. And the police released the apartment. The investigation was done by Saturday. Well, the owners came and they removed everything from the apartment, and I guess they had been in touch with this guy's parents who were in Florida. And I'm in Nebraska, so they were quite a ways away. Well, Sunday comes around and they call me and tell me they want me to show the apartment. And it still smelled like somebody had passed away in it. And the woman and a man and I went into the apartment, and we were standing in the dining room area, and I felt his soul pass through my body, and so did the woman standing across from me. Her eyes got really big, and I asked her, did you feel that? She said, yes, he's still here. And I said, yes, he is. He unfortunately probably don't know what happened to him. So then after they left, I went back over there with my white candle and my sage, and I passed him over. The first time I ever did that, but it worked. I felt him leave. I felt him go. And I was grateful. You know, I was telling him, you've passed on. You're in the next realm, your energy, and you need to move out of this space. And you need to get moving because, you know, you have a family that loves you, and they're preparing the memorial, funeral, whatever you want to call it, celebration. It's a celebration, I believe, to pass on to the next realm. And anyway, so that's that story. It does, Moldavite will bring up things that you need to release from your life. I work with the Moldavite on a daily basis now. I have had that feeling where you're floating and you know you need to get grounded. So if you get the Moldavite and you start feeling that immediately, you could probably pair it with black tourmaline to ground you. My first piece of Moldavite I got, it's said that after it's served its purpose with you, it'll just disappear. And my first piece did just disappear. It just basically disappeared. But I have this little collection of Moldavite. Okay, I got this pendant right here. And then I got this from Starborn too. And I got this one from Starborn. And then this one I got off of Etsy from a Czech dealer. Now, I don't feel the high vibration because I'm vibrating at the same frequency as the Multivite is now. And it works because it's green. I don't know if you can see that. Because it's green, it works with the heart chakra. So it will open you up to being a person that wants to seek love and the higher vibration and things that are good, and it will make you feel very disgusted when you're around things that aren't that way. It you will some people, they say they actually lose a lot of friends when they acquire Multivite. And my eyes watering because last night I was doing my full moon charging ritual with my crystals. I go outside and I have a little thing I do to charge them, and I was so happy that it was going to warm up because in the wintertime I don't like to do that because I don't want to damage my crystals at all. So I was out late, and for some reason the moon took forever to rise last night. It didn't come up but to where I could even see it until 11 o'clock, and it got down to 42 here. So by 11:15 I was ready, or it was actually 11:11 when I got in my car and left and came home. But you know, I will be teaching about how to cleanse crystals, how to charge crystals. Multivite, however, is its own unique. You'll not find anything on the earth like Multivite. It's only found in the Czech Republic, like I said earlier. And it cleanses its own self, and it also charges and works with other crystals and stones that it's around. Um, Clear crystal quartz kind of stabilizes its energy. And here's a little Herkimer diamond. It actually will up the energy. So usually when I'm carrying these, I carry these two together, the Herkimer and the Moldavite. And this is my newest Moldavite. And I actually did feel the energy from this when I first got it. These other two from Starborn, I really didn't feel much from them. And I paid a pretty good penny for this, which I actually felt nothing from. But they are all Moldavite, I know that. But you do have to be careful because of its popularity. People are making a glass that looks like Moldavite and peddling it on the market. So I would go to somebody that's actually has a lot of good recognition and good feedback online if you have to order it online. I did go to a crystal shop in Omaha, and it was too pricey for me, and it didn't have no vibration. I couldn't feel anything from it. And I was like, well, I'm not paying $300 for earrings that do not give me any kind of feeling. So, you know, I felt more at ease getting it online with somebody that has a good backing and good recognition for selling it. So, this will be my little story on Moldavite. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. If you are interested in transformation and up for the big changes that'll occur in your life, then I would say go for it. Find you a good outlet and purchase a small piece in the beginning just to see. I have heard stories that some people cannot handle Multivite at all. I intuitively knew this is where I needed to start my journey with crystals and healing. And thank you. Like, subscribe. See you later.